welcome to another episode of Roll or Die. We have for you, we are coming to you from, well, Anton and I are here in Melbourne, but these guys, our guests today, are in San Diego, getting ready for preparation for the World Championships that are going to be held later this week, although we're not releasing this podcast for a couple of weeks, so then we'll know. We have for you a very special guest, Kadek and Mikael Yahaya. Did I get that right?
I love him pronouncing surnames. I just love it. We have to do a clip of all Kim's
all my pronunciations. I like the way you leave it to me, man. Like it's the hardest thing ever.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello. Thanks for joining us. So I should preface this too by saying Kadek is he's a blue belt that trains with us at Absolute, and are you legally blind, or what's your status, Kadek?
Oh, something's going on with your audio, guys.
It was all good before. I could hear it before.
Can you hear us or no?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you can. Maybe you have to be closer to it.
That's better.
All right, I'll just pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what
was the question?
Yeah, Kim kind of asked, like,
yeah, I'm totally blind. I'm totally blind.
Totally blind. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you like obviously this is something very new for us to experience on the show. So I mean we don't know really, we don't have a point of reference here, right? But like obviously discovering jiu-jitsu as someone who is totally blind, that's that's a first for us to experience. It's a first for you to experience. I'm sure that there's not many jiu-jitsu clubs around who can be proud to have someone who's, you know, who is the same as you in them. So how did you discover jiu-jitsu?
So I read an article towards the end of 2019 about this blind grappler in New Zealand.
Right.
And I read his story and I'm like, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I heard of it only in the UFC, you know?
Yeah.
As a martial art itself, I don't know a lot about it. So I read about it. And yeah, I was interested. Like I was like, if he can do it, I think I can do it, you know?
Yeah.
So I Googled around with my phone, and that's when I found Absolute MMA.
Wow!
And I walked in there and asked if I could join, and I thought they're gonna say no, but they're like absolutely, yeah.
They're absolute. They have to. They have to say absolute with everything.
And then they told me that someone gonna give me a call back about it, and then that's when Mikael took on the challenge, and yeah, that's when I met Mikael in 2020, just before COVID.
Wow.
Okay. And Mikael, tell us from your point of view then, how was that? How did it go for you from the start?
Well, I asked him, I guess, at the start, like what his goals were and like why he chose like jiu-jitsu. And he pretty much told me his story, which I'm sure you guys are about to hear. And I said, well, from what you've given me, I don't know if I can help you ever get good at jiu-jitsu. I feel like I can show you jiu-jitsu as best I can, but what I can promise is a community that you can be a part of, and like they'll accept you as friends, as equals. Like I said, from like the story he's given me and what I know by now, like it makes a lot of sense why that was his goal, and his goal then changed and progressed to where he loved the thing, and he has aspirations to compete for a long time as well as to coach someday, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully one day. Yeah, it was like last year when I first competed. That's like 3 or 4 days before the tournament. Mikael asked me, "Do you want to compete at this local gym?" And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." That's the first time I competed. Like all right, I have to do this at least one time, you know. And then after that, I was like, Mikael, I think I'm addicted. I want to compete again.
Woo! Oh man, you're excellent. You are excellent.
Yeah.
Kim, you go for it. I don't have any questions, but you go.
Yeah. So was that Grappling Industries, yeah? Was that the first one?
That's the second competition. The first one was Dominance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I saw you at Grappling Industries and you did really well.
Yeah, in the first comp, I got slaughtered. And then the second, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do what I need to do and what I've been learning since then. And And first and second fight I had, I won, and I'm like, okay, I beat this guy. Like I think the first fight was 9-0 or something.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe I can do this,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very cool day. It was a
Amazing.
good day.
You know, I mean, like your entry into Absolute MMA is identical to mine, right? I heard about it on the UFC, right? And then I Googled, and then Absolute MMA came up, and then I approached the club like so far. And then I also got slaughtered in actually most of my comps up to now, not just my first comp. So that's where we start to drift apart, right? So here's the thing: you're a better competitor than me, right? And Mikael, this is a question for you, brother. Like, what did you notice in coaching KP? Because you coach kids, you coach adults. You're a very technical grappler. What did you notice? And obviously, you have a very small sample size with KP, you know. But what have you noticed about his learning style versus someone else? You know, in like a kind of starting point.
Well, I think like it was like I could tell pretty much straight away he's a pretty coordinated individual. I can imagine him being also very athletic pre his blindness. I just needed to, I guess I was never like uncomfortable with him, but I also need to know like where the boundaries in regards to how confident he can be on the mat. So whenever I teach, I use him as like the uke, right? He's the guy that I'm always showing, especially if he's in the class, because how is somebody else going to teach him that's meant to be here and learning? So I did that early on with him, and he would get the move. He would get it. Like I think I coach well, but I think his like technical capability and his capabilities come from him. Like he was just going to be good at this thing.
Wow.
So you're saying, Mikael, that in some ways, Kadek is a more technical grappler than some sighted grapplers.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't he wouldn't win matches if that was the case. Yeah, sure. He's strong. He's fit. He ticks a lot of athletic boxes, but you can have that as well as sight, and then technically, objectively, they should win. But that's not the case when he beats people. So
I would also say it's actually like, like it's amazing. You pointed out that you always use KP as your like the person who you're demonstrating on and with in a class environment, right?
Yeah.
So that must be a wonderful experience, KP, for your development. Like not very often do white and blue, blue belts, etc., get used as a general rule. It tends to be the coaches will pick higher belts or close. So that's it's an honor for you. But
definitely.
It does give you an access to the coach, which is a wonderful.
I'm actually really lucky, and I'm always thankful for Absolute MMA for like always giving the chance, and for Mikael also just to take me on and took the challenge, because you never met a blind person before, have you?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
And then for the way how he handled and teach me, like it's really awesome, and like he always like guided me to where I am today in Jiu Jitsu. It's really cool.
Amazing.
And so, KP, tell us your story, because you were not born blind, yeah?
No,
you lost your sight. Tell us about that.
So I lost my both sides in separate incidents. One at the age of 10, that was in Bali. I grew up in Bali for the first 10 years of my life. And the right eye, I lost it when I was 20. That was back in Western Australia, Perth.
Wow.
Both through separate traumas. 10 years apart too,
Wow. That's also incredibly rare, right? Like you must have just been like, wow, lightning strikes.
Like basically I got hit by a lightning strike twice. But you know what, it took me literally 9.5 years to accept my blindness, because I lost everything. I lost my careers, everything, like literally even friendship, 9.5 years it took me until I just had enough. Like why am I doing this for nearly a decade? So what's the point of me living, So in 2019 in July, like I attempted suicide, but thankfully I'm still here. And while I was in Alfred, like I got to thinking, like I got to be better than this. What are you doing to yourself, So I just woke up from then, and I don't want to be here ever. I don't want to be here. I want to make a change. Like yes, you're blind, but you got to learn, you know? So I started learning just to be blind, like with my cane, so I can walk again, you know? And so I learned that. That was difficult, but in the end, I did it, and then got my guide dogs, and that changed my life even further, you know? And I can get to the jiu-jitsu gym by myself now.
Wow.
Before, at the beginning, like Mikael, not just my coach, he actually helped me to get to the gym.
Wow.
Like, yeah, like otherwise I would never be able to. So I was so thankful for not just his coaching, he also get me to the gym, you know,
Yeah.
when I couldn't. So yeah.
Unbelievable,
So I'm
man.
really lucky enough.
Amazing. Like, first of all, I have a friend who has a jiu-jitsu podcast that's dedicated to mental health, right? And I really recommend that you go on there at some point, because you will change a lot of lives with your story, man. But my question for you is, what impact has jiu-jitsu had on your mental health?
Oh, a lot. I'm smiling again for once in my life. I believe the tattoo on my neck now, that live to smile. That used to be my motto, you know, and I stopped smiling for years and years. And jiu-jitsu brought that smile back. It brought my cheekiness, you know. Like when I roll at the gym and people choking me, all this like, why are you still smiling? It's like, I don't know, I'm just happy. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it saved my life. And it gave me a purpose. It gave me like who I was meant to be, you know? And it gave me like what I want to do in the future as well. I want to be a coach one day, you know. That never was the plan. I never thought like, how am I going to coach? And I realized I could do this. I got the best gym and the best people, you know, like I could do this. Like I can be a coach one day. Why not?
I'm so inspired. Absolutely.
Wow.
No doubt.
Yeah. So tell us about, I mean, this is a question, I guess, for both of you, but tell us about especially the early stages. Like you're a blue belt now, so you've obviously you got through those early months and years of being a white belt. It's terrible. Like we all feel of whatever belt we are, we all can remember back to those early white belt days. You're lost. You don't know what you're doing. I can only imagine, or I can't even imagine really for you, how it would have been at that very early stage. Can you share with us at all some of that, of the very beginning of jiu-jitsu, how it was for you in getting started?
Yeah, so when I started, it was with just Mikael. I was so afraid to join the group class. And one day Mikael asked me if I want, that's the goal. I said, yeah, that's why I want to make friends, you know? But I was so afraid. And I was so afraid to go into a class. Like, I'm going to get, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, people probably asking me, what are you doing here, you know? But when I first joined my group class, that I didn't like expect how awesome people is, you know? I remember Jaden, the first thing he did was armband. He slaughtered me. Now, he didn't take it easy, you know? And that worked, and then I was like, wow, I want to do this. I want to keep doing this. Like I wasn't like oh, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna get killed. I want to do more, you know.
Yeah.
Like so from that moment, the group class and and people started talking. People started helping me to get to the water and everything. And I'm like, wow, this is not what I expected. You know, people here are awesome, and I made a lot of friends along the way in the gym. You know,
Amazing.
And
So
I love those people, and I respect them a lot. You know, for like bringing me back, like to smile again. You know.
Unbelievable. You talk about people not going easy on you. Now, I presume that you're not going into a blind person's world championships. You're going into a jiu-jitsu world championships comp, right? Is it what?
Yeah, I'm going to the IBJJF World Championship. So yeah.
So how do you deal with that initial finding range, getting grips? How do you deal with that? Because I mean, you know, like I imagine they've got an advantage in that first few moments of the match. How do you engage?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like in some competition, I've been lucky that the umpire let me have a grip, you know.
Yeah.
And in some other, like the IBJJF, they wouldn't. So when I know my opponents, the way I do it is like when I know my opponent's in front of me and I don't have grip, as soon as the umpire says come back, I'm just going to go forward and grab him.
I see.
You know, because I know for a fact that he's still there.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. That's the way.
I love it.
So right now he's
oh man. Full on attack.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I've been lucky so far they're still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't been choked like standing up yet, so it's been working.
Yeah, I like it,
Yeah,
man.
I
Let's
don't
hope
think
that
people expect I'm just gonna a blind person just gonna charge them, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So great,
And
man.
Yeah, so normally I just do that. So far it's working. So yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Mikael, did you have to adapt your teaching at all at the beginning, especially, or how did you go?
In like a group setting or in like a
Or
one-on-one?
both one-on-one
So
and
so one-on-one, I don't think I had to change too much. Pretty like stock standard in regards to like these are fundamental moves, and then I kind of like had to figure out which techniques he gravitated towards so we could have a plan. And then once I had a plan, I could lead him down a pathway of like, I think for the time being, I'm going to do this, and then we're going to skill up in this end, so on and so forth. That's obviously for the one-on-ones. In the group classes, because I use him as okay, I get to, I guess, show him and like let him feel the moves. I think it's maybe I just thought empathetically that'd be like the best thing I could have done, because if someone else was to teach him, I mean, it might be better than like my way to do it, but it's effectively not coming to my class; it's coming to somebody else's class, right? Which I don't necessarily know is a good thing or a bad thing. It's just not what we had planned. So I try and use him as much as I can, and I think just the communication. So when I'm teaching, not so much, but I'd feel like if I was coaching him, I have to use different words, like what might be obvious to us isn't necessarily obvious to him, right? Just in regards to the terminology of the words or what I'm trying to convey and mean. So I just had to get better with the words I used, but I think luckily enough I adapted quite well. So in my eyes, anyway, I don't know. You might think I'm a garbage coach. Nah.
It must have had profound impact on your actual coaching as well. I mean, you're known as a very good coach already, Mikael, but like I imagine that this experience has really had you reflect on how to simplify teaching, how to kind of really imagine people visualizing techniques or, like
I think
what kind of impacts.
I think there's definitely the element of simplifying styles of jiu-jitsu and then converting it to a style for a given person. I would say what it really made me better at is coaching individuals better.
Interesting.
So there was like the extra element of like, all right, so if I am communicating in a certain way and somebody just isn't getting it, right? I use like methods that I've had to do for him, because I'm like, all right, well, if me like saying these things aren't doing anything for you, I'll show you myself, or like I'll give them different cues and whatnot. I think the individualism of that, as well as then delving down, I think this particular athlete or competitor should go down this path, and that I've gotten better at personally as well from this experience. I can pick the styles better, because I also have to explain to him about his opponents. Like that was a learning curve for me. His first tournament, I showed him around the mat. I showed him how many steps it was from edge to edge. But what I didn't do, and what he asked me to do after, like for his second match, was, can you describe my opponents to me? And I was like, fuck, I didn't even think about that. I have to like tell them height, weight, they're like robust, like are they like a stocky body type? Like it's like, what do you think they'll be good at? And I'm like, yeah, fuck, I didn't even think that I had to do that. But yeah, I should do that every time. And then I think from that, because he did that a year ago now, I think in the last year I've improved as a coach for sure.
Brilliant.
So, and at competition, like how is that for you? Because like I know for myself, even with sight, it's very overwhelming. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of, it's really a sensory overload. So how do you deal with that? Like how have you
it's
dealt?
hard. Yeah, it's with the noise is hard, but one thing I don't like for people to do while I'm focusing to compete is they come up to me and wanting to talk and wanting to know my story,
That's the worst.
That's the worst.
That's
like just like I wanted to like focusing. I'm not like normally either Mikael or my partner there, and they're like, oh sorry, he's focusing, but it's the worst, right? Because you lose focus when people want to talk to you in a comment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the problem I had like for a while, like just people wanting to talk. It's not like I don't want to talk, like just right now I'm focusing on my matches, like who am I, like what am I gonna do? Like I need to like focus,
And a lot of us experience different things as around competition nerves. Some of us are more nervous than others, no doubt, right? But do you experience comp nervousness, or do you think that what you've faced, the adversities you've faced, have they helped you? Do they make it harder for you? Like,
they help me a lot, in life. But this is like a different like arena, like you go into comp and I get really nervous still. Like even now, like world is not far. I'm really nervous.
Mm.
You know, like
Mm.
really nervous. Like in my mind's like battle. There's a battle going on in my mind. So yeah, I get
Yeah.
really nervous. Yeah,
I know that battle only too well, my brother. Only too
yeah,
And are you doing any training over there before
Yeah.
you go? Have you trained yet?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
yeah. So we train at, I think it's called the training center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're under Barrett Yoshida.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been training there.
Yeah. We've been training.
Yeah.
We've trained twice now.
Yeah, and today I trained in a garage with 2 black belts, so I'm really lucky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done well. He's done well for himself. He's swindled himself into the situation.
I think he's earned it. Like having lost
Yeah.
2 sites in separate occasions, man, you deserve VIP access to everything in life.
Yeah,
As far as I'm concerned, like
yeah,
it's an amazing journey, and it's like I just can't even imagine it. Going back to the eyesight thing, I don't want to spend too much time, obviously, because there's so much more to discover. But was the second incident somehow related to the fact that you were low in eyesight in the first place? Like, you know,
No,
anything
like
related?
I was a totally sighted, but even with one eye, I still considered a sighted person because obviously I've got 20/20 vision, you know.
Yeah.
So no, it didn't affect me. It was just like a situation where stuff happened, and you know, like
Amazing.
and yeah. So
Yeah.
it didn't affect me. Like I played football with one eye, drive. Right. Yeah. So I did a lot of stuff with one eye.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
what do you think for other sports? Like I know that they play, I think, do they play blind Aussie rules? Is that a thing that's
Yeah.
going? Like
Yeah.
how does that work?
So there's different categories players. There's A, B, and C.
Mhm.
So I think there's 6 people on the field in
Mhm.
indoor stadium, and there's a bell inside the shearing, the
Yeah.
ball. So
Yeah.
and they make a noise the whole time. So yeah. So category A player, that's myself, totally blind.
Mhm.
B is like low vision that have low football skill, or you know.
Mhm.
And C is basically like someone that can see but not like 20/20 vision.
Mm.
But they run around the field, and played in Telemarine.
So you've done that as well, or?
Yeah, I was actually the vice captain for St Kilda, but I retired now from that to focus more on jiu-jitsu.
Combat
awesome.
sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
KP, did you get an invite to Mikael's wedding?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we haven't even
Yeah.
talked about that.
He told me like because I met him and obviously was going to be married already, right? But then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And then when we started properly training after lockdown, and he just told me one time that was very touching to me. Anyway, I remember that day, and he said, "I can't imagine you not being there at my wedding." You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, that was very touching. Like,
I just had a
I got invited with the cool kids, you know?
yeah, absolutely. I had a feeling he'd invite you to his wedding. I went out on a limb there, but I thought, no, you are wedding material, bro. I'd want you at my wedding
I was honored to be there. Like I consider Mikael one of my closest friends, you know, not just a coach.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I was really honored to be there with my guide dog and my partner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. But you've had to leave your guide dog behind, is that right? She's back
Yeah,
here
I
in
did.
Australia.
I did not want to bring her here and for the long flight, you know, and I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So, and then I'll be training a lot and focusing on competition wasn't fair on her new environment. I don't want that stress on her yet, you know.
Mm.
So,
Is this the longest you've been apart?
Yes, this trip will be the longest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your partner, is this the longest you've been apart from your partner as well? Not just the
No, she's here with us.
Oh, she's here. Okay, cool.
Yeah. She's been being our support.
Yeah, she's staying here till his match.
Until my match, and
And a few days after.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have a boys trip to Disneyland.
Yeah, we're going to have the boys trip to Disneyland. It's a dream to meet Goofy. So
It's my dream. Take a photo next to Goofy.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
That's
I told
awesome,
him,
man.
I told him we can do that one.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
And
it.
what's
I'm
next?
I
Are you
think
guys also going to Masters World? Sorry, Anton.
No.
No.
Maybe I misunderstood because when I knew that you're going to Worlds, I thought it was Masters Worlds, but you're going to
No.
Adult Worlds. Like,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try. The old man gonna try.
You are swimming with great whites, brother. I like it. I like it a lot. It's going to be great. It's an amazing story. Like this story will echo through the BJJ community, man. And I really hope it does, because it's just so inspiring. That is the bottom line. Like, win, lose, whatever happens. And I also hope that you triangle or arm bar or some sort of takedown on Goofy as well. That will ring out through the media as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, like no, like
He would never hurt Goofy.
yeah, no, I would never. Like ever since I was a kid, 'cause, yeah, ever since I was a kid, because I grew up like obviously not having a lot. I was like, one day, me and Goofy are gonna take a photo. It stuck with me, like. And I'm like, when I found out, like, okay, I'm gonna do Worlds over here, I said, I think my childhood dream's gonna come true. I'm gonna take a photo with Goofy. So we're gonna search for Goofy. The first thing we do when we have to Disneyland.
Man, I love you. That is so cool. That is
Fantastic.
the best.
Be the
That's
happiest man then after that.
Wow. I like it. I like that a lot. You're a simple man, but I mean that as a compliment. Like, when my son asks, when people say, "Oh, what should I get Anton as a present?" My son always says, "He's a simple man." And originally I was like, "Oh, I don't know about that," but no, I've grown to love that. If you're pleased by simple things like a photo with Goofy, that means you've got an amazing heart, in my view, because you don't want all the fancy bling. You want it's
I know you want that bling. Go after that bling at Worlds. Hey, that's what you're here for.
Oh, definitely. Like that's my dream. I was telling Mikael, like, I imagine if I win this, like at the age, I'm nearly 33, competing like against the young,
Yeah.
Like if I win it, like I told Mikael, bro, I'm gonna cry for days.
I'd never hear the end of it. It'd be horrible.
I'll be wearing my medal with the suit and everything.
Yeah.
I literally would cry for days, maybe weeks even.
Mikael, do you do the thing where if he wins Worlds, it's automatic purple belt? Is that what happens?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
If his skill doesn't get better, he's just not getting the next belt.
All right.
He told me that
already.
already.
Okay, I got it.
Now I want to earn it. I don't want it to be just like because I'm blind, I'm doing jiu-jitsu here. I want to earn it.
Yeah.
I want to earn that belt. Like every belt I'm gonna get, I want to earn it, and I want to not just talk to talk. I want to walk to walk. I don't care. Like if I get the win or the lose in competition, I'll be doing that for a while. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, like I mean, I put it like this way. I would love for you to be able to have the freedom to go to any gym anywhere in the world, wear whatever belt you have, and like hold your own.
Yeah.
In accordance to that belt.
Exactly.
Right? Like I don't want to hand you a belt because you did well once, like it has to be consistent.
Yeah. And
definitely. KP, tell us about getting your blue belt. Like that's a pretty big step. Like for most people, I think blue and black are the two big belts. They're very exciting to get. Tell us about some of your feelings when you received your blue belt.
I was there. I saw you get your blue belt. I saw you get your blue belt, right?
Yeah, I recently got my blue belt in the last grading in Jan. I didn't even know that I was getting, because I was focusing on my competition the next day. Like in grappling, I was focusing on that. I was like, Mikael's like, "Are you coming to grading?" It's like, "Oh, nah, bro." Like, and then he's like, "Nah, you come to grading." I was like, and then my partner's like, "Yeah, let's go to grading." I said, "Oh, all right, then." Like, but we won't stay for long, So I ended up staying there, and then all of a sudden Mikael came and talked about this person, and I'm like, "Oh, I wonder is it?" And then he called my name. It's like, "Wait, what? I'm getting a blue belt." But I'm competing tomorrow. What belt?
Wow.
So then I got banned. Well, I told Ben days prior. I was like, look, this person doesn't know they're getting their belt, but they're going to sign up at white. Can you do me a solid and just like move their name? Like Saturday, but just like while he's at the gym, I know he has no access to his laptop.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I got my blue belt and I was like, wow, I'm actually getting my blue belt. And then it got to my mind like, wait a minute, am I competing at blue tomorrow?
Yeah.
and Mikael said, yep. Oh shit.
But you still did well. That's the one where
I gave it a go. That's for sure. I gave it a go, and like for me, I went in there thinking, oh, I don't that don't belong here. But I gave it a go, you know, and I told myself, you only got your blue belt less than 24 hours, and and then you went in back to throwdown, you know. So
yeah,
so yeah, I think I did well, and I learned from it, you know.
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to me incidentally as well. Like the day after I got promoted to blue belt, I competed or that same week or something like that. I remember that too. And it was a great experience. It was like really ripped the lid off, you know, at the beginning of blue belt. It wasn't just ease into it. I recommend it. I rate it, you know, get in there, see how you go. It's a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. And I learned a lot from competition as well. So
absolutely. So what does the rest of your itinerary look like up until like your camp leading up to the match?
So tomorrow we're gonna have open mat. That's probably the last jiu-jitsu training.
Yeah, so we're gonna do his last training session tomorrow, which is Monday. And then we are going to maybe do like a light workout on Tuesday or Wednesday for his fight on Thursday. Fights on Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be heading to Anaheim on Tuesday as well. We'll have more access to like gym equipment and stuff.
Gym equipment, yeah.
Do you do much of other training outside of jiu-jitsu? Besides...
me and Mikael, we do lifting. So
yeah.
I've recently started lifting again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needed somebody there to, I guess, help him with the whole safety of it, right? Like a weights gym's always moving, right? People moving benches and shit everywhere. And also like the safety of like, are you doing like a squat to like, is this safe for someone that can't see? I just have to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And KP, I don't know, like, have you had Mikael's matches described to you? Like that Mikael is a firecracker when he competes. Oh my Lord, this guy just.
Yeah.
I mean, I fight him every day. So he feels it.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. But like in front of hundreds of people,
kilos.
in front of hundreds of people, he just jumps up, he does spinning things and diving. It's just crazy out there, man. Like
I told him I had blonde hair and blue eyes, and I'm 6 foot tall.
I've heard one time. I think my partner told me when he saw Mikael did a handstand during the comp, and I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah,
handstand.
Yeah. It's like he's just like, I mean, some of the stuff he's doing not even jiu-jitsu. It's like a mixture of gymnastics, ballet. He's got it all going on out there.
I don't even know what it is myself.
But that's obviously influenced you then, with your game. So would you describe like how would you describe your game of jiu-jitsu? Like what's your
probably similar to yours, right?
Yeah.
I would say like I have like the style that I've shown him. I'm strong at, but I would not say it's my like number one style to win a jiu-jitsu match. I wouldn't say it's my A game, but it's something that I do very well, and I typically do it well. It's like under calf guard stuff or like low singles and off balancing, heading towards the back. It's very like wrestle up sort of style, but also wrestling them forwards. I do it mainly if like I'm getting tired in training, and the other time I do it is if like I'm a little bit injured. It's the safest style that I could. The safest style I think to like preserve my body when I'm getting injured. So I said, well, I feel like this is the best thing I can show you from my point of view, the safest style. So that's his current A game. Will it change? It would like most likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the time being, that's like the fundamental basis of it. So it's
brilliant.
Awesome. I don't know if you've got any more questions, Anton. We're nearly out of time.
I just want to acknowledge you, man. Like I'm blown away. Like this is.
He just wanted to hang out.
Like I didn't even know when Kim had said Mikael and KP. I was like, is KP Mikael's partner? I don't know who we're dealing with. I don't know who the second person is, right? And
don't tell that to Mon.
Sorry, I'm not very social out there. But then the bottom line is like. This is an amazing episode that I think is one of the most important episodes we've ever done and maybe we'll ever do. And I just thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm totally inspired.
Thanks for having me.
Have you ever reached out to the New Zealand blind grappler at all? Have you ever made contact with him?
Yeah. I met him at Pan Pac and I told him then. But he's actually here as well doing masters. So
oh wow.
So I'll probably see him there.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Do you have any final words for our listeners? Any parting thoughts, words of wisdom?
Just like to everyone just to have a go, really, in anything, you know, not just jiu-jitsu, whatever you're wanting to try or wanting to do, just have a go. You know, you never know. We will love it like I did, you know. Yeah.
Wow, very humble. Thank you very much for giving up your time, especially I know you guys only just landed a couple of days ago, so really appreciate
No worries.
making the time for us. I'm sorry we're
Thank
not
you,
going to get
team.
this out before you actually compete, so good luck. We'll be releasing this a little bit after.
So he'll be a champion. He'll be a champion by the time.
That's right.
Right.
You heard it
Mikael,
here
any
first.
words from you before we go, brother?
I don't believe so. I think I said everything I was expected to say from my point of view. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, thank you for having us, guys.
Yeah,
It's lovely to see you again, and we'll have to catch up when we're back in Australia.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, good luck, kick ass, and
Thank
we'll
you.
be watching from down under.
Kick ass,
Thank you.
KP. Use
Bye.
that cocky style on them. Run straight forward and take it down. All right.
That was the funniest
Freight
thing you said,
train.
for sure.
KP the freight train. That's who you are for me, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.